Kwenda nyuma. Kwenda huko, stupid. Amka. Amka na makofi yako ya takataka. Toka hapa, enda nyuma huko. Kwenda nyuma. Kwenda huko, stupid. Amka. Amka na makofi yako ya takataka. Toka hapa, enda nyuma huko. Kwenda nyuma. Kwenda huko, stupid. Amka. Amka na makofi yako ya takataka. Toka hapa, enda nyuma huko. Kwenda nyuma. Kwenda huko, stupid.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I greet you in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. What you just saw, I intentionally started with that video, and I will explain that. It wasn't an entertainment because it looked like one, but that was a church. The name of the pastor is James Nganga, a Kenyan pastor, very famous for other things. And in fact, I think he has a hobby in slapping people. Now, this happened in his church. Before I show you other slappings, I'd like you to take a very good look at that again.
Me, I hate drama. I swear before God. Unaona sasa? Kenya iko mambo mengi sana. Kenya iko mambo mengi sana. Amka. Amka na makofi yako ya takataka. Toka hapa, enda nyuma huko. Kwenda nyuma. Kwenda huko, stupid. Nawe kwa nini analala hapa na namuona? Tuna concentrate na nini? Wana concentrate na namwacha analala hapa. Amka hata wewe. Toka. Hata hukumuona?
All right. Away from this one, I saw some other videos where also he slapped some persons while in the church ministering. Again, this one also.
1, 2. Achana mchezo. Hapa ni kwa komanda. Achana naye. Achana naye. Go down. Achana naye. Funga mdomo yako. Funga mdomo. Funga mdomo yako. Chukua mizigo yako wewe. Hakuna kitu kusema.
Again, this one also that is very similar to the one you watched first, the first one.
Ni wangapi wamebadilisha mtu mmoja? Ni wangapi wamebadilisha mtu mmoja? Tunaenda. Umetoka wapi? Wapi? Amka. Chukua mizigo yako. Chukua mizigo yako. Chukua mizigo. Chukua mizigo yako, toka. Enda ukaije. Utakuja baadaye. Enda ukaije. Utakuja baadaye. Simama. Simama. Enda ukakae kule upigwe na baridi. Sogesha huku ije. Sogesha huku. Hata umweke kwa mvua anyeshewe kidogo asikie baridi.
All right. The reason I showed you this is just for you to understand why it looked like it was normal when he slapped that man in the church in the face. You know, I don't know what was amusing and funny about that, but because it seems to be a normal thing. And these ones we saw now probably are the very few ones that we, the outside world, have seen. There could be others that have happened and were never shared. And at least this latest one, this one I think is fresh. For this to be out there, it was not captured with phone. It must have come from, the clips that were recorded. Probably the service was live or something. I cannot understand, but we have it outside. Now, I was saying that it looks normal to people because now you see the first, the second, the third. So they are used to it. But my question is, why? Why should humans, I wanted to say adults, but I refrain from using the word adults because nobody deserved to be humiliated like that. Nobody deserved to be degraded like that. Nobody deserved to, to be subjected to that kind of a thing. When I watched it, from my brother's comic channel, it looked like fun, but it was not. I had to pay close attention to it. And then I used something bigger to watch it, and I saw that those slaps were delivered intentionally and with force, not a smacking, not a little smack on the face and all that. And it was not made to be fun, to be a joke. At times, a pastor can, something like this just to wake the person up. But that was a deliberate attempt and intention to humiliate the person, and was very furious at the person who was by his side who didn't wake him while he was sleeping. All right. Now, and also the other woman, you see how intimidating the posture of the pastor was behind the woman, that he even, made a move as if he wanted to smack the woman again, even though I didn't understand what he was saying. But I don't know, because those of you who would say, leave pastors alone, we are leaving them alone. But is this right? One particular thing that is common with what he did, at least the two, was that he would always signal the cameraman to come close. I don't know whether he was looking for an evidence or validation so that the people understand why he is slapping these people, or that the person will be very, very much humiliated enough so that if you don't know who the person, was from afar, the camera can zoom correctly and he will point at the direction where the place where he would want those things. I mean, the camera to be zoomed at. I don't know, because I really don't understand the language, whether he was sending them away from the church or he was actually sending them to the back. That is what I do not know, but I just do not understand. And in case you are a Kenyan person, you can help us in the comment section and tell us what he was saying. Was he asking them to go home or for them to go back? They don't deserve to stay in the front and distract other people. Oh, he stands in the house of God and hates drama. Now, hating drama, there was nothing dramatic about a person, being overcome by nature. Something may have happened. And I guess that man probably would be one of his leaders. It might be one of the senior pastors in his church. And at times, these people are used to the point that they are not even useful to themselves. They may be coming out from a vigil that they prayed all night, and they must still be in church. I'm just saying, I'm not sure, but I'm just saying, because just an ordinary member cannot come and sit at the front seat there. So the person may be a leader in the church. Okay, even if they didn't do vigil overnight, that it was just that the man felt tired and went off like that and slept off. I don't think that the best way not to want a drama and the best way to stand in the presence of God and to serve in the presence of God was to smack a fellow human being like that, a man that obviously has a family, a man that obviously has people. Even if he doesn't have a wife and children, there are those that loves him, that love him, that probably are members of his family or friends. There are community around the man that cares about the man, and you don't even take those people into cognizance. As for the woman that was slapped like that, even if she was not married, and she was single, ought that not to be the more reason why you should actually protect the woman. And if that woman was married and probably the husband was in that church or outside of the church and sees his wife being smacked like that by another man, I don't know what message it could give, except if only the husband happens to be a member of that church and has come to take it as normal. Our daddy can smack us, he can slap us and humiliate us that way. And not just that we are being slapped, we are, forcefully and, violently asked to leave their seat and go to the back seat. And of course, you heard how he ended their dealing with the man that we saw first, stupid. All right. So I don't think that this is part of the serving in the presence of God. Sleep is a natural thing. Anybody can be taken. And more so when you have stayed in the same place for a very long time, sleep can take you. You can rebuke the person, you can scold the person, but not to humiliate the person. You can ask the person, why are you sleeping? You can ask the person, all right, stand and walk around so that you can overcome sleep. It is normal thing for people to sleep, right? Some persons don't have enough time for themselves, day and night. And then they find their way to come to church, definitely some out of fatigue, and some in some of these places where services starts from the morning and very late in the afternoon and evening, someone is sitting in the same place. And that reminds me, when we have a certain Reverend King, on our space here in Nigeria, the Christ Praying Assembly man who has been in custody for a very long time because he could even flog the people. I heard that then once you entered the church, no going out, you can't even go out to pee. And people were following this man until he killed one of them, until he burnt one of them with fire.
The Christian Praying Assembly is a popular church in Ajao Estate area of Lagos. The church, overseen by convicted Reverend Emeka Ezogo, alias Reverend King, is known for notoriety. In 2006, Reverend King was convicted by Justice Joseph Oyewole of Lagos High Court and sentenced to death by hanging on January 11, 2007 for the alleged murder of a church member, Ann Uzo. He allegedly poured petrol on the deceased for what he called acts of fornication and set her ablaze alongside others. The victim eventually died as a result of injuries sustained from the burns. Arraigned on September 26, 2006 on a 6-count charge of attempted murder and murder, to which he pleaded not guilty, Reverend King was found guilty by the trial judge. While in prison, the goatee-bearded convict was reported to have control over the minds of his followers. His male worshippers wear their beards like his. The condemned prisoner, who had been awaiting the hangman in Kuje prisons in Abuja since he was transferred from Lagos prisons, was allegedly sleeping with his female worshippers and meting out grievous punishment on those he considered sinners. Both male and female members of Reverend King's assembly are said to have changed their surnames to King as a sign of loyalty. He is seen as Christ and honored as God by his followers, who believe he could never be found guilty of the charges leveled against him. Now that the tone of the music has changed, what is next for Reverend King's followers and the ministry? Your guess is as good as mine.
So it has gotten to that point where you don't even understand what people are doing. Apostle Paul was preaching overnight and somebody slept to the point that he fell from the staircase, from the window and to the floor and died. Our present day pastors will be like, that serves him right. Why would he be sleeping? Of course, because they are larger than life, nobody will do anything to them. But Apostle Paul abandoned what he was doing. He abandoned the message and went down and said, God, this one will not die under my watch. And he prayed until the man came back to life. They brought him back to the service and the service continued. All right? So it is normal that when the service is long enough, people will be fatigued, people will be tired, nature will take its toll. Even if it was not as a result of a longer service, yet I don't think it is normal, it is right for an adult even though that not even a child deserved to be treated like that. Are you telling me that if that man was some sort of a politician who came to the church and slept off like that, that was how he was going to wake the person up? I doubt it. It won't be like that. But you see, we elevate men to the point that they become idols. They don't even care again. They can stampede, they can stamp on people, trample on people, do anything, subterfuge, any kind of a thing they want to do, they do it and get away. And even when you're talking, it is even possible that this man who was slapped may come out tomorrow and ask us to mind our business, that he was one that was slapped. His wife can come out tomorrow and say that we should shut up. It's not our business. We should mind our business. But the question is, how many people that listened to Jesus slept? One. And again, if this was a message that you were preaching, if your message has fire enough, would people actually sleep like that? And somebody will ask me, what of Apostle Paul? Does it mean that Apostle Paul's message was not having fire enough? But that was in the night. Having said that, the message can carry fire anyway. But slapping a man like that just because he slept is an abuse. It's an abuse of opportunity, of privilege given to you to lead the people. It might be that the pastor he has this kind of allergy, seeing people sleeping while he's teaching. Just like Apostle Arome has allergy for people's phone ringing while he is preaching. But then there is always a way to manage these things. I came in peace. I want to hear your opinion about this. Thank you and God bless you. See you in the next video. Don't forget to like, share, and comment in the comment section. If you subscribe, please activate your bell icon so that whenever we upload a new video, you'll be among those that will receive the first notification from YouTube. God bless you. From me to you, shalom.